testing, testing.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. عبس وتولى أن جاءه الأعمى وما يدرك لعله يزكى أو يذكر فتنفعه الذكرى أما من استغنى فأنت له تصدى وما عليك ألا يزكى وأما من جاءك يسعى وهو يغشى فأنت عنه تلهى كلا إنها تذكرة فمن شاء الذكر في صحف مكرمة مرفوعة مطهرة بأيدي سفرة كرام بررة قتل الإنسان ما أكفر من أي شيء خلق من نطفة خلقه فكذر ثم السبيل يسر ثم أماته فأكبر ثم إذا شاء أنشره كلا لما يقضي ما أمره فلينظر الإنسان إلى طعامه أنا سببنا الماء سبا ثم شققنا الأرض شقا فأنبتنا فيها هبا وإنابا وكذبا وزيتونا ونخلا وحدائق غلبا وفاكهة وأبا متاعا لكم ولأنعامكم فإذا جاءت الصاخة يوم يفر المرء من أخيه وأمه وأبيه وصاحبته وبنيه لكل امرئ منهم يومئذ شأن يغنيه وجوه يومئذ مسفرة ضاحكة مستبشرة ووجوه يومئذ عليها غبرة ترهقها كترة أولئك هم الكفرة الفجرة صدق الله العلي العظيم.
بر محمد وآل محمد صلوات. مزدوروں کے کاندھوں پر کاظم کا جنازہ ہے، مزدوروں کے کاندھوں پر کاظم کا جنازہ ہے۔ بغداد کے قیدی پر زندان بھی روتا ہے، مزدوروں کے کاندھوں پر کاظم کا جنازہ ہے۔ اس درد نے تربت میں سجاد کو تر پایا، زندہ سے نکل کر بھی آزاد نہ ہو پایا۔ یہ پہلا جنازہ جو زنجیروں میں جگ رہا ہے، مزدور کے کاندھوں پر کاظم کا جنازہ ہے، مزدوروں کے کاندھوں پر کاظم کا جنازہ ہے۔ زنجیروں کو تکتی ہے، شانوں کو ہلاتی ہے، میت کو کبھی اپنی گودی میں اٹھاتی ہے، ایک ہاتھ ہے پہلو پر لگتا ہے کہ زہرا ہے، مزدوروں کے کاندھوں پر کاظم کا جنازہ ہے، مزدوروں کے کاندھوں پر کاظم کا جنازہ ہے۔ زنجیروں کو تکتی ہے، شانوں کو ہلاتی ہے، میت کو کبھی اپنی گودی میں اٹھاتی ہے، ایک ہاتھ ہے پہلو پر لگتا ہے کہ زہرا ہے، مزدوروں کے کاندھوں پر کاظم کا جنازہ ہے۔ ذرے بھی لہو روئے، ذرے بھی لہو رو کر روداد سناتے ہیں، قدموں کے نشان اس کے زندہ میں بتاتے ہیں، یہ نظر کے عالم میں کس طرح سے ترپا ہے، مزدوروں کے کاندھوں پر کاظم کا جنازہ ہے، مزدوروں کے کاندھوں پر کاظم کا جنازہ ہے۔ اس درد نے تربت میں سجاد کو تر پایا، زندہ سے رہا ہو کر آزاد نہ ہو پایا، یہ پہلا جنازہ جو زنجیروں میں جکڑا ہے، مزدوروں کے کاندھوں پر کاظم کا جنازہ ہے۔ جو لوگ گزرتے ہیں آپس میں یہ کہتے ہیں، گھر والے تو یثرب میں اس قیدی کے رہتے ہیں، پھر اس کے جنازے پر یہ کون ضعیفہ ہے، مزدوروں کے کاندھوں پر کاظم کا جنازہ ہے، مزدوروں کے کاندھوں پر کاظم کا جنازہ ہے۔ زنجیروں کو تکتی ہے، شانوں کو ہلاتی ہے، میت کو کبھی اپنی گودی میں اٹھاتی ہے، ایک ہاتھ ہے پہلو پر لگتا ہے کہ زہرا ہے، مزدوروں کے کاندھوں پر کاظم کا جنازہ ہے، مزدوروں کے کاندھوں پر کاظم کا جنازہ ہے۔ کہتی ہے کوئی بی بی ہے وقت مصیبت کا، اب جلد مدینے سے آ جائے رضا جا، بے گور و کفن کب سے بیٹا تیرا بابا ہے، مزدوروں کے کاندھوں پر کاظم کا جنازہ ہے۔ شبیر کی غربت کی نوحائے سناتے ہیں، سوکھے ہوئے لب اس کے امت کو بتاتے ہیں، اس نے بھی دم آخر پانی نہیں پایا ہے، مزدوروں کے کاندھوں پر کاظم کا جنازہ ہے۔ ایسی حالت میں تھا لاش عباس کا، میں اٹھاتا رہا وہ بکھرتا رہا، ایسی حالت میں تھا لاش عباس کا، میں اٹھاتا رہا وہ بکھرتا رہا، ایسی حالت میں تھا داد زہرا کی پامال تھی یوں دعا اٹھاتا رہا، ایسی حالت میں تھا لاش عباس کا۔ میں نے چاہا کہ میت وہ یکجا رہے، اپنے ہاتھوں سے بازو چچا کے چنے، پتھروں سے لعینوں نے مارا انہیں، ٹکڑے ٹکڑے مجھے ان کے بازو ملے، ایک بازو بھی ان کا سلامت نہ تھا، میں اٹھاتا رہا وہ بکھرتا رہا، ایسی حالت میں تھا لاش عباس کا۔ دائیں جانب سے میت اٹھائی اگر، بائیں جانب کیا ہڈیوں نے سفر، دائیں جانب سے میت اٹھائی اگر، بائیں جانب کیا ہڈیوں نے سفر، لاش پامال لشکر نے اس طرح کی، شیر کے ٹکڑے ٹکڑے ہوئی تھی کمر، شیر کے ٹکڑے ٹکڑے ہوئی تھی کمر، میرے کاندھوں پہ لاشا ٹھہر نہ سکا، میں اٹھاتا رہا وہ بکھرتا رہا، ایسی حالت میں تھا لاش عباس کا، میں اٹھاتا رہا وہ بکھرتا رہا، ایسی حالت میں تھا لاش عباس کا۔ پر محمد و آل محمد صلوات۔
بر محمد و آل محمد صلوات۔ respected scholars, my esteemed seniors, brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum. We'll be starting a 3-day lecture series from tonight. It's a small intro from Sayyid Muhammad Hassan Alsheera. He was reluctant to give us his bio, but we kind of made it out of him anyway. So here we go. Sayyid Muhammad Hassan Alsheera is an Iraqi scholar born in the holy city of Qum. He earned a bachelor's degree in political science from the University of Michigan and a master's in religious studies from the University of Detroit Mercy, where his thesis was titled A Comparative Analysis of the Crucifixion of Christ in the Bible and the Quran. Since 2011, Sayyid Muhammad Hassan has pursued Hawza studies under his father Ayatollah Sayyid Basim al-Shira and Ayatollah Sayyid Munir al-Qabbas at the Hawza al-Najaf al-Ashraf Seminary within the Az-Zahraa Foundation. In 2015, he continued his advanced Islamic studies at the Hawza in Karbala, Iraq. He has been delivering lectures and teaching Islamic classes to communities across the US, Canada, Africa, and Europe, with a primary focus on addressing divisive issues, tackling modern challenges faced by Muslim youths, and clarifying misconceptions about Islam. Sayyid Muhammad Hassan is also actively engaged in interfaith and intrafaith initiatives. He currently resides in Dearborn, Michigan. Thank you, Sayyid, for accepting our invitation to deliver a series of the 3 lectures. I would also like to thank the previous EC for arranging Sayyid's attendance in advance and also in helping us out with Sayyid's scheduling and accommodation. In particular, Brother Mahmoud Hussain Megji, or the coach, is known by Sayyid. Right, Mahmoud? We're going to be known as a coach now, not Mamdu anymore. I know whose coach is, what he coaches, but also Brother Asif Wali from the previous committee, Brother Abbas Muhammad, and Brother Muhammad Hassan Alidina, or Momo, for the tireless and selfless efforts in making sure that Sayyid is comfortable during his brief stay in Vancouver. Sayyid, welcome to Vancouver. I hope you, inshallah, you're comfortable. All of you, please recite 3 salawat in the loudest of your voices to welcome Sayyid. Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad salawat.
Thank you so much. محمد وعجل فرجهم ولا ناداهم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم صل على محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم. رحم الله من قرأ سورة المباركة الفاتحة. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم الصراط الذين أنعمت عليهم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. كله كفوا أحد. صدق الله العلي العظيم. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. صلى الله عليك يا رسول الله. صلى الله عليك يا سيدي يا مولاي يا أبا عبد الله. ما خاب من تمسك بكم وأمن من لجأ إليكم. يا ليتنا يا ليتنا كنا معكم سادتي فنفوز والله فوزا عظيما. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين، خصوصا سيدي ومولاي قمر بني هاشم كفيل الهواشم. السلام عليكم جميعا يا شهداء كربلاء ورحمة الله وبركاته. أما بعد، يقول الله في محكم كتابه الكريم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر آمنا بالله صدق الله العلي العظيم صلوا على محمد وآل محمد Muhammad. Ashab al-Samaha, dear respected Shaykh, my dear brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I extend to you all my wholehearted condolences on the anniversary martyrdom and the Shahada of the epitome of patience, the symbol of forbearance, the legacy of patience, al-Imam al-Humam Musa ibn Ja'far al-Khadhim Kadhim al-Ghayz Salamullahi ta'ala alayh. In the legacy of al-Imam Musa al-Kadhim alayhi salam, we find a plethora of gems of wisdom that can definitely improve and optimize every single human being. That is not said with any blemish or any exaggeration or any garnish for the sake of genuinity and objectivity. Al-Imam's, his life is filled with countless lessons that all Muslims and non-Muslims ought to benefit from. The first of these reasons being is that Imam al-Kadhim's life teaches us that no matter if you are found in a cell, if you are away from your loved ones, always remain fortitude, always have robust forbearance, be resilient, be resistant, because that is all you have. If they strip away your rights, your liberty, and your freedom, they can't take away your principles and morals. Even in the darkest of the dungeons, he remained principled. He had morals. And as we will see, even in cases by efforts through the khulafa of Bani al-Abbas, through the likes such as Harun al-Abbasi, al-Rashid, these efforts to try to misguide the Imam by dispatching people that were purposely meant to tempt the Imam, as we will see, fell short. The Imam, you don't need to be Muslim to say, I gained inspiration from that patience. I found in him resilience that can affect me as well. You don't need to be Muslim to say, I admire principalities. I admire that in times of difficulty, you remain forbearant. These are transcendental qualities. Hence why we begin by saying that the life of Imam al-Kadhim alayhi salam ought to be understood thoroughly, such that we can both appreciate the ni'mah that we have as followers of this Imam, and furthermore disseminate it to those who, if they knew what we have, they would fight us to take it. And that is the life and legacy of this seventh Imam of Ahl al-Bayt alayhi salam. We find that in the life of Imam al-Kadhim, his early days revolve around being forbearant, close with his father, and being obedient, such that if the time came, his father set the stage for Imam al-Kadhim to take lead. What do we mean? Al-Imam al-Sadiq, on his deathbed, he knew that his son was ordained by Allah. Imam is not chosen by an election. God has ordained before creation that we will have 12 successors to the Messenger of God. And as a result, he left behind this very unique will. In it, he lists 5 successors. This was a thoughtful effort to safeguard the genuine successor by misguiding those who would use the will of the Imam to determine who the next leader is so they can take him away. Al-Imam al-Sadiq was perspicacious of this. And so as he leaves this world, the Khalifa Abu Ja'far al-Mansur al-Dewaniqi, la'natullahi alayh, responsible for the poisoning of Imam al-Sadiq, administered that his representative in al-Madinah al-Munawwira, the wali of al-Dewaniqi in al-Madinah, ought to look at the will of Imam al-Sadiq and see, find the next man and kill him while you're at it. So you can quit this effort sooner than later, because it compromises our khilafah. The hadith of 12 khulafa existed, and they know this exists. Stop it at 6. Don't make 7 come through. So they look into the will of Imam al-Sadiq, and the wali of Medina responds back to the Khalifa and says, you ordered me to kill whoever is there, I have to first start by killing you. He says, why? He's like, not just you, me as well. What happened? Ja'far al-Sadiq alayhi salam knew very well what you were going to do, because he, Allah, unlike you, has blessed him, has given him a tawfiq, a malaka called the aql. And the reason here dictated that I can't just leave this world behind without safeguarding my successorship. And if that means I have to deviate those who have ill intention, I will do it by listing 5. Number 1, my Khalifa is Abu Ja'far al-Mansur al-Dewaniqi himself. Number 2, the Khalifa is the wali of Abu Ja'far al-Mansur al-Dewaniqi in Medina al-Munawwira. Kill him while you're at it. Number 3, my wife, Sayyida Hamida al-Barbariya. She's my Khalifa. She's the next Imam after me. Number 4, my son, Abdullah al-Aftah. He's my Khalifa. He's the Imam after me. Number 5, my son, al-Imam Musa al-Khadhim. Looking into this, they were perplexed, disorientated, and decided to just leave it be. Here's the thing though. You have listed, 6th Imam of Ahlul Bayt, 5 people. The Shia, how will they determine the Imam now? Because if you made this claim, yes, you have deviated the establishment from finding and targeting the real successor, but the Shia, they also paid the price. A symptom of this is that those who are trying to find the haqq will also be confused. The beauty about this is the following answer also answers the question about when the Imam of our time, Ajjalallahu ta'ala farajahu sharif, reappears. How will we figure out whether he's truly the leader or not? It's actually quite obvious. Number 1, there are signs. We all know that there are major signs of the reappearance, minor signs of the reappearance. Al-alamat al-hatmiyya, there's no chance. These signs have to reappear. Al-khasf al-bayda, al-kusuf, qatl al-nafs al-zakiyya, these are as-sayha. Then there are major signs, minor signs, the world poverty, injustice, and we're kind of seeing a lot of that happening now. Those are the signs. However, that's the signs of the reappearance. There are signs in the bloody reappearance itself. The Imam will be as clear as day. He will be, the hadith in Al-Kafi says, as obvious as the sun in the open sky. Can you deny the sun in the open sky? Ya Habibi, you can't even deny the sun on a cloudy sky. You don't need to see it to know it's there. You can see its athar and its effects. That the sun behind the cloud still continues to radiate for you, even though it's in occultation. Likewise, the Shia of the time were very clear that the next Imam is obvious. Because kadhab al-dajjalun. Too many come, Imam claimants. I'll tell you something, by the way. In Iraq, we have this problem every single Saturday. A new Imam is born. This movement, that movement. This guy claims the Yamani, I am this. This guy claims I am the Mahdi. The thing is, he can't even speak Arabic. You would think, read Fatiha, something. Furthermore, there's no nur of Ahlul Bayt that radiates. I'm not saying it's all about looks and impressive grammar. It's about objectivity, and the haqq shines, because Allah says, al-haqq al-mubin. The haqq is true, and the truth is clear, and Allah will never misguide the truth. Because if you want to know the truth, al-haqqu ma'a Ali wa aliyun ma'al haqq. And you can find those who are on the nahj of Amir al-Mu'mineen are always on the right path. In any case, Imam claimants emerge. In this 5 How did they determine? A man by the name of Muhammad ibn Ali al-Naysapuri came into Medina al-Munawwara. Where is the new Imam? Imam al-Sadiq was now a martyr. We need to find and give allegiance and bay'ah to the seventh Imam of Ahlul Bayt. Furthermore, I have huquq shar'iyya to deliver, meaning khums and the zakat. Who do I deliver this to? Muhammad ibn Ali al-Naysapuri. Naysapur, the outskirts of modern day Mashhad, beautiful area. And he comes, he makes the trip. He says to his people and townfolk, I am going to embark on to it's a big journey by foot. So if you need now, send me the letters so that we can deliver them to the Imam. Whoever this next Imam is, word has reached us, the last one has died. Additionally, deliver the huquq al-shar'iyya as well, min al-khumsi wa zakat and sadaqat. So they all gathered around this man and they gave him a lot of their money. And then a lady comes forth. Old lady, but pious, God-fearing lady, by the name of Shutayta. She has a shrine, by the way, in Naysapur, modern day today, and you'll see why in a minute. She comes, she's on a cane, and she says, Ya Muhammad ibn Ali, Naysapuri, here you said you called forth that you need to go travel, and whoever has anything that they want to deliver, here I owe the Imam khums, 2 dirhams. A dirham is a silver coin. A dinar is a gold coin. 1 dinar is equivalent to 10 darahim. So just to understand the currency exchange. So a dirham is very cheap. It's just a silver. She's like, I have 2. Here, take this to them. And Naysapuri says, Hajjiya Shutayta, I mean, it's just 2. It's a big deal. Look at this guy, he gave me 1,000. This guy, he gave me 5. You sure you want to deliver this? I remember there was a speaking engagement I was honored to participate in. And I had announced that I'm going to make ziyarah and I will pray for all of the attendees in a state in America. And someone came and said, Maulana, can you deliver this to the marja as well? I owe him some money. I didn't care, I didn't concern myself. I said, of course, I'll deliver it. She gave me a small envelope. I go and I deliver it. The thing is, they asked me, how much is it? We need to know so we can jot it down and give her a receipt telling her this has been received and appreciated from the Sahm of Imam. So I delivered it. I'm like, okay, we'll have to open it. It was only $3. But she feared Allah so much that it could be these 3 that will testify against me on the day of judgment. That I owed something, fi dhimmati, on my neck was this. And I fear Allah even in 3. And sometimes, let's not even open that topic. But anyways, and the thing is, the scholar of Al-Muhammad today accepts it, uses it and spends it in humanitarian efforts, charities, philanthropies. No wonder nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize 4 times. The Pope wants to visit him for goodness sake in a detour at last minute. All of our scholars are beacons of inspiration. And even that, with his blessed hand, he stamped it and said, here, give this back to her. We have accepted it. There's no shame, there's no aib in any of that. Muhammad bin Ali Naysapuri doesn't really see that though. Shutayta, it's just 2 dirham, not even a dinar. It's like, that's it. I owe Allah, I don't care. Little, not little, who cares? She gives it, he takes it. He enters Medina. The problem is, I have a dilemma. Who's the Imam? Imam al-Sadiq alayhi salam gave us 5. One, the thing is, you have to realize, when you see, you'll know. It's kind of obvious. Anyways, there was a movement that emerged called the Fatahiyya movement. As a result of this slight confusion that emerged, not the result of Imam al-Sadiq alayhi salam, but there are opportunistic people. They'll take a chance. They'll be like, hey, you know how he said 5? Khalas, one of the 5 is the Imam. And so there was a movement that believed Abdullah al-Aftah was the Imam, meaning Imam al-Sadiq's son Abdullah. They call themselves al-Fatahiyya movement. It existed, it was legit, it was a Shia movement, that the next Imam after Imam al-Sadiq was his son Abdullah, not al-Imam al-Khadhim. And so he went to Abdullah, so let me see him. He asked, and they said, yeah, it's him. Let me see him. He goes, and he's carrying all these letters and all of these huquq al-shar'iyyah. And he enters upon this room. You will find the next Imam of Ahlul Bayt. Just go through the door. Goes inside, and he sees the next Imam, and he sees him paralyzed from the waist down. He was crippled. Imam al-Sadiq son Abdullah was crippled. And there's no shame in any of that. But he's like, huh, you're the imam? He says, yes. I didn't expect that you would be limited in this manner. He's like, that's how Allah decided to make me. I'm the imam. How can I help you? He says, well, Yabna Rasulullah, I have huquq, I have some money, and I'd like to give it to you. Saham imam, I have to deliver. Allah says in the Quran that you have to deliver the khums. But the thing is, I kind of want to test if you're the imam. I'm a bit shocked. He says, what's the question? Says, if someone has 200 dinar, how much zakat must be delivered through that? Has zakat equivalent of 200 dinar. How much of that must be paid in zakat? Abdullah al-Aflah says 20. Okay, that's correct. How about if someone has 100 dinar? How much zakat? He says 110. Muhammad ibn Ali al-Naysapuri says, I'm very sorry, you're not the imam. You answered this fiqh question wrong. He says 200, you give 20. That's correct. 100, you don't give 10. Zakat starts to count once you start having 200, not 100. You begin to owe when it is 200, not when it starts at 100. It starts at 200. That's the hukum. So you still owe even if it's, but that's not where you begin. You begin and it's owe, and you owe at 200. I'm so sorry, you're not the imam. He moved aside. As he left the room, a young, hadith says, ghulam, a young servant comes to him and he says, Muhammad, I know who you're looking for. And he who you are searching for will be found if you follow me. He says, let's go. He goes. He says, the answers you are searching for is behind that door. He opens the door. Muhammad ibn Ali al-Naysapuri says the following. I had questions ready just to confirm, verify, validate, legitimize whether you are not the next leader. And so he says, but all of the questions disappeared as soon as I entered the room and I saw a group of men sitting surrounding a man. He says, يتلألأ منه النور كأنه البدر في ليلة تمامه وكماله. Radiating from him is light and illumination as if he is a full moon shining in its full brightness. And I forgot every question I had. هذا إمامي وسيدي ومولاي موسى بن جعفر الكاظم صلوات الله وسلامه عليه. Ya akhi, it's obvious. Ahlul Bayt don't need to be trialed. Ahlul Bayt, you see them, you remember Rasulullah, you remember Amir al-Mu'mineen. Don't need to worry, can I verify or not? Just look. It's as clear as the sun on a day that's completely unblemished. So he sees him and he asks nothing, and the Imam embraces him. That's Imam al-Khadhim alayhi salam. Al-Imam al-Khadhim, then on, before we talk about the years of his imprisonment, the efforts he used and the efforts he's done in Medina are impeccable. When Imam al-Khadhim was in jail, those efforts didn't even stop. He had a brother by the name of Ali ibn Ja'far. Ali ibn Ja'far is buried in Qum al-Muqaddasa. Ali ibn Ja'far, the beautiful thing about him was he would send letters to his brother while his brother is in jail, Imam al-Khadhim. Even in prison, Imam al-Khadhim would answer the questions for the other believers, and Ali bin Ja'far compiles them into a book called Musnad Ali bin Ja'far. It's a compilation of jurisprudential laws, Islamic laws and rulings. If you read this work, he doesn't refer to his brother, Imam al-Khadhim, as Qala al-Imam, nothing like that. He uses pseudonyms and antonyms and euphemisms because he doesn't want the establishment to know that he's exchanging conversation with someone that is still misguiding the public. That's the reason why they put him in bars, behind bars. So he calls him Qal al-Shaykh. And in some passages, قال الرجل, using taqiyya at the end of the day. So whether Imam al-Khadhim in jail or outside of jail, never stop the dissemination of ilm and knowledge and wisdom and hikmah. Al-Imam al-Khadhim alayhi salam, he takes, let's not forget, he takes the huquq, the money, the khums and the zakat from Muhammad ibn Ali, and he sees it and he says, all of this is rejected. None of this was done with genuinity and sincerity except 2 darahim. You remember the dirhams of Shutayta? He says all of this is not accepted. Whether this guy made his rizq through haram. And we have a hadith that says 9/10 of iman is halal rizq. 9/10. La ilaha illallah. This one made his rizq through cheating. This one is only donating for riya purposes. I donated. That's not qurbatan ilallah. That's qurbatan ila popularity. That's not qurbatan fi sabilillah. That's fi sabil, let me get more likes and viewerships and engagements and sponsorships. I donated. That's qurbatan. Please look at me in a good way, fi sabilillah, that way. He says all of this is rejected except these 2. These ones were given with ikhlas. These ones were given with genuinity, sincerity. And I'll tell you something. Go back to Naishapur, Ya Muhammad ibn Ali. Go back. And when you're back there, the owner of these 2 darahim, tell her the next 4 things. Number 1, that your imam sends his salams to you. Allah. Imagine you get assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah from Imam al-Zaman. We always say assalamu alayka, ya sayyidi, ya mawla. But what is it like if the imam says, no, I want to send salams to you? What an honor. What a powerful honor. He says, tell Shutayta, this old pious, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah on my behalf. Number 2, I will accept one of these dirhams and I'll use it in Sahm al-Imam purposes. And I'll take the other one and tell her I will have it buried with me. Allah. Number 3, take this and give it to her. What was it? It's a kafan. It's a shroud for burial. Made from the cotton that was picked from the garden of my mother Fatima Az-Zahraa and sewn together by my sisters and the daughters of Imam al-Sadiq. Say this is for her to use. Number 4, but not least, give her glad tidings that when she passes away, I will pray upon her. You're going to have a visitor, and that will be me in Naishapur. I will pray upon her, and I will bury her myself. Look at this honor. He goes back, he does this, he informs her of what happens, she becomes a celebrity. This old lady, everyone wants to get tabarruk from her. Pray for me. Here's the thing though. The best du'as and the ones that are more mustajab, try this. This old lady who's praying and does tasbih is your grandma. Is that old aunt of yours that oftentimes can be neglected. All she does is pray. If she's praying and praying, tell her when she's praying, say, Grandma, say, Bibi, pray for me while you're at it. Remember me. This lady's dua is mustajab. Don't neglect it. Don't undermine it. And you know the beautiful thing is, she might have white on her head. She has gold in her heart. Tell her, remember me. You know what she'll say? What do you mean remember you? Before you were born, I was praying for you. Before you came to this dunya, I said, Ya Allah, give me good grandchildren. She's been thinking about you. Tell her, pray for me. Tell her, remember me by name. That's exactly the Shutayta individual. She's just a poor, pious, but God-fearing lady acting through ikhlas. You have that in your home. You all have a Shutayta in your own home. Whether she's left or not. Pray for her in her life and in her afterlife. Remember her. These women are upright. Don't undermine their significance. They're a mujahideen fi sabilillah. Because they are just a factory, industrial machine of salah, tasbih, and dua and ziyarah. That is a person that all they do is salah, tasbih, dua, and ziyarah. Can anything be refused from them? I'm not saying they're ma'sumeen. Hasha. No way they're ma'sumeen. But wallah, their dua can be the next best thing to the dua of the ma'sum. The imam says, I will pray over her. They tell her this, she becomes an icon. She's mutawadi'ah, she's humble, she's modest. But man tawada'a lillah, rafa'ah. Whoever humbles themselves for Allah, Allah will raise them. She passes away. Now, people are remembering something though. Who's going to pray over her? Where is he? And he's in Medina. Technically, how's he supposed to even do that? Ya Habibi, the one who can bring Imam Zayn al-Abidin alayhi salam from the cells of Ibn Ziyad back to Karbala to bury Sayyid al-Shuhada and his family and back to the cells. The one who can bring eventually al-Imam al-Jawad alayhi salam to go pray on al-Imam al-Ridha from Medina in Khurasan, and al-Imam al-Ridha to pray from Medina in Kadhimain over his body of al-Imam al-Kadhim, his father, and the one who allowed Asif ibn Barkhiyah, the successor of Sulaiman, to bring the throne of the Queen of Sheba from Yemen, Bilqis, Saba, to Palestine in front of Sulaiman, قَبْلَ أَنْ يَرْتَدَّ إِلَيْكَ طَرْفُكَ, before even the blink of an eye. قال الذي عنده علم من الكتاب أنا آتيك به قبل أن يرتد إليك طرفك. And without the blinking even completing, it was right in front of him. Cannot deliver al-Imam al-Kadhim from Medina to Nisapur. This is Allah. You're dealing with the system of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I have a question, and we mentioned it the other day. Asif brings the throne of the Queen of Sheba before the blink of an eye. Because what did he have? قال الذي عنده علم من الكتاب. Said the one who has some knowledge from the book. علم من الكتاب, not علم الكتاب. If the one who has some knowledge of the book can bring you the throne of the Queen of Sheba from Yemen to Palestine before a blink of an eye, what about the family who the whole book was revealed for? Some knowledge does this. Whole book, what's at their disposal? What can they do? You're talking with Ahlul Bayt. The hadith says that Asif had one out of the 72 portions of the name of Ismullah al-A'zam. Ismullah, the grand name of Allah, 72 portions according to a tradition. He had one out of the 72. Rasulullah says, Ya Ali, you and I have 71 out of the 72 portions of the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If one can do that, what is at their disposal? And this is the hikmah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Right before she is going to be prayed upon, a group of men gather and they say, I'll pray upon her. Khalas, Imam al-Kadhim's foreshadowing didn't come to fruition. Another man says, no, let me pray on her because it's an honor to pray over this lady, where the Imam does all of these things for her, until they said, stop, there's a visitor. He's entered the masjid. Turn around and send your salams to Musa ibn Ja'far alayhi salam. Brushes them to the side and he begins, Allahu Akbar, and does the salat al-janaz al-mayyit on her and buries her. If you are genuine in your rizq, Allah will dispatch the Imam to be almost at your disposal in this way. Give the Imam everything, the Imam will give you everything. And this is the Imam of our time as well. Don't think he'll forget you. He remembers you. وَأَشْهَدُ أَنَّكَ تَسْمَعَ كَلَامِي وَتَرُدَّ سَلَامِي تَرَى مَكَانِي. And I bear witness that you hear my words. Reply back to my salam. Understand where I am. My station as well. Send your salams to the Imam. You think he won't reply? Radd salam wajib. Replying back to the salam is obligatory. So if they don't do it, then that's not good. If we are told to do it by them, if I send my salams to him, he has to respond. I said, but the thing is, the salam is a dua. As-salamu alaykum. May the peace of Allah, and Allah is not directly referenced, but it's implied. May the peace from the heavens be upon you. That's a dua. Is the dua of a ma'soom rejected? Never. Always send your salams to the ma'soom. You will get peace in your life. Peace of mind. Peace of your spirit. Do that constantly. Assalamu alayka ya Aba Abdullah. Assalamu alayka ya ibn Rasulillah. Assalamu alayka ya waritha Adama safwatillah. And then involve the other great legends as well. inheritor of Adam, Moses, Noah, Isa, Rasulullah, Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wasallam. And watch how they will all reply back to you, and insha'Allah with the barakah, have that become a dua that's mustajab. Imam al-Khadhim alayhi salam is walking through the city of Medina, and he's with his companions. Al-Fudayl ibn al-Yasar, Zurara ibn A'yun is there, and he's walking together. One man runs to the Imam and says, "May Allah curse you and your father." The companions, when you're with your people and your boys, you can become fiery. Imam, we're going to jump him right now. It's over for him. How dare he talk like that to you? Imam al-Khadhim says, wait. I will treat him. And so Imam goes to where he lives. He was a farmer. And the farmer sees the Imam approaching. He rushes and says, "Stop! You've just destroyed my plants. You stepped on them." He didn't, Imam al-Khadhim alayhi salam, but the man wants to accuse him. Imam says, "I'm sorry. How much is the damage?" He says, "It's a big number. 100 dinar. That's a lot." Imam al-Khadhim says, "Here's 200. I want to just ask you something. Maybe you've misunderstood. Maybe you've misheard. Maybe you're ill-informed about me and my father. If you're hungry, Musa al-Khadhim, will feed you. If you're thirsty, Musa al-Khadhim, will quench your thirst. If you need someone, I am there for you. Perhaps you were ill-informed." The man, shaken at the humbleness of the Imam, says, "Forgive me. I was just misinformed. I didn't know any better. They told me you are someone who is interested in corruption and changing the youth. And I was just a believer of that. So forgive me." The next day, Imam al-Khadhim is walking with the same companions, and they see that farmer running to the Imam. This time they're saying, "Ya ibn Rasulullah, we got this. I know you said be patient, but we can't. Look, he's charging you. Oh my goodness, we have to jump in." Imam says, "Just watch what he's going to do," because he had just visited him yesterday. The man rushes and he drops to the feet of the Imam. And he says, "Sayyidi wa mawlai, is there anything you need? I am at your disposal. Humbly forgive me. Is there anything I can do at your service?" Imam al-Khadhim looks at his companions and he says, "See, is what you wanted to do better than what I did? If you had beat him up, what would happen to this guy? He would never embrace this path." Sometimes our akhlaq could be the decision that makes people embrace Islam, not our preaching. كونوا دعاة لنا بغير ألسنتكم. Stop preaching when your akhlaq is the akhlaq of Yazid and Muawiyah. Who cares? Some people, they said that I became non-Muslim because of the akhlaq of self-proclaimed Muslims. Why? And then the akhlaq of the non-Muslim was much better. Islam is akhlaq. Nothing more, nothing less. Rasulullah says that, not me. إنما, not inna. إنما أداة حصر, meaning an emphasis. إنما بعثت لأتمم مكارم الأخلاق. I have been dispatched, surely, verily, indeed, to fulfill sublime morals. Meaning what? Meaning you have akhlaq, I need to fulfill it. Because it doesn't take a genius to realize that bullying is ugly. This is human objective truth. It doesn't take a genius to realize profanity is disgusting. You're a Shia. You shouldn't ever use that language. You're a Shia. Stop with the perversions and the distractions out there. You're above that. You're better than that. You have a high standard. You're a Shia. What's acceptable to them is haram to you. Even if it's not written as haram, you have a high standard. Someone might say, Sayyidina, I may not demonstrate the best akhlaq, but is what I'm doing haram? It's okay. Just don't call yourself a Shia. Because this deen is too valuable. The blood that was sacrificed, the legends that came through and gave from their very own family to preserve this deen is no joke. You have a high standard. Rasulullah says, I was dispatched. That's the whole reason of these 24 arduous, tumultuous, painful years, such that he ends it saying, Wallah, ma udhiya nabiyyun mithla ma udhit. There has never been a prophet more oppressed than I have been oppressed. All of that's for akhlaq? Na'am. Yes, it is. Because Islam is akhlaq. Nothing more, nothing less. You can pray 1,000,000 times. If your akhlaq is trash, that prayer might be rejected, might be refused. What's the point of saying, Ya Allah, here's my salah, but the ibad of Allah, I am subjecting them to the biggest dhulm in life. How many tyrants have we seen pray? How many oppressors have we seen fast? But that is all for show. At the end of the day, Allah will ask, you had a high expectation upon you. And for that reason, these salawat, these days, they were not done with sincerity and genuinity. And it's the same sincerity and genuinity that Imam al-Khadhim shows us could be the acceptance between 2 darahim and 5 trillion that are rejected and accepted. And if 2 dirhams, the value is probably a spoon in today's context, is accepted, watch, don't be surprised if when you pass, Imam Sahib al-Zaman prays on you, washes you, tells the people that I'm sending my salams to them because of their ikhlas. And the hadith al-Qudusi, hadith Qudsi, extra Quranic speech, not in the Quran, Allah is speaking. Al-ikhlasu sirrun min asrari istawda'tuhu qalba man ahbabtu min ibadi. Ikhlas, sincerity, is from the secrets of my secrets. I bestow it upon the heart of whomever I love from my servants. If you're sincere, Allah loves you. If you're genuine, Allah loves you because it's a secret. You want the hub of Allah, you have to be sincere. Genuine. Why? Because that prayer the zalim prays and the millions that they give and the charity that they do and all of this that happens is not done lillah. Because inna salati wa nusuki wa mahyaya wa mamati lillah. So these guys, it's qurbatin ila high page revenue and engagement. Qurbatin ila, let me have my name plastered on the wall of the biggest donors. There's nothing wrong with being proud of what you've done. Be honored that in a world today where people are going left and right and bad distractions, I decided to be associated with good things. But don't be the individual that you will never give. You will never be philanthropic except if there's a camera in front of you. Another hadith Qudusi. إِذَا أَشْرَكَ عَبْدِي أَحَدًا مَعًا تَرَكْتُهُ لِشَرِيكَهِ. If any of my servants involve anyone else in their actions, I will give the reward and I'll leave it for the person they got involved with, not from me. I really hope that when I make this effort that seemingly looks good, that people can be proud of me. In that case, the reward is going to be left with them. Allah won't give you the ajr. If though there is a purpose that's more noble than that, that Ya Allah, I would like to inspire people to do good, so I will do good. That's not shirk of the amal as-salih. That's not. You know what that is? That's وَأَمَّا بِنِعْمَةِ رَبِّكَ فَحَدِّثْ. That's you speaking of the ni'mah that Allah has given you, and you want to give it to others as well. Look how Allah has blessed me today with the opportunity to attend the masjid, the opportunity to coexist with my brothers, the opportunity to let, for goodness sake, bygones be bygones. That's a blessing. You know, today, that feud that we have, that family issue and that feud, we looked past it. I invited them for Eid, brothers and sisters. I invited them for nephew's birthday. Yeah, but you hate them. They said something about you. I let it go. That's a ni'mah, speak about that. But don't flaunt. Don't boast. Imam Amir al-Mu'mineen says, Ustur thalath. Conceal 3 things. These things are not wajib to conceal, but they are beneficial in your interest. They reduce risks. Madhhabak. Conceal the madhhab sometimes. There are places in the world, it may not be in your interest to come forth and do the bara'a and the tabarra and the tawalli publicly. If you're going to do that and put yourself in tahluka, at times conceal it. Madhhabak wa dhihabak wa dhahabak. Dhihab is your travels. You've seen the person, there's travel. Allah says, وَسِيرُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ وَعَلَمُوا كَيْفَ بَدَأَ الْخَلْقِ. Travel. The most narrow-minded people I've ever seen are the people that never left their street. Look at the dunya that Allah has made. And وَاعْلَمُوا كَيْفَ بَدَأَ الْخَلْقِ. And ponder about how Allah created this world. Travel, it's encouraged to do so. One of the reasons the name of Jesus, Al-Masih, some ulama say, because يَسِيحُ فِي الْأَرْضِ. He would travel a lot. My master's was on biblical studies. Jesus would not stay in a town for more than a week. He just kept traveling. One day he's in Tyre, Sur, Lebanon. When he was born, he was in Egypt. Another day he's in Galilee, Nazareth, Jerusalem. All these places, what is he doing? Just traveling, speaking, talking, engaging, inspiring. But sometimes there are people who are envy. Why do they get to travel so much and I'm stuck here? Why are they one day in Bora Bora? Another day they're in New York. Another day they're in somewhere in Europe. That must mean they're well off. That must mean their life is much better. I'm extremely jealous. Not haram, but maybe in your interest, these are things to consider. مذهبك وذهابك وذهبك. Is there anything that needs to be said about the dhahab? Don't flaunt. It's okay. It's not haram. It's just in the interest of others. Keeping these things in mind does what for us? Improve the sincerity and the quality of our ikhlas and genuinity. It's with that, watch the Ahlul Bayt interfere in your life. Imam al-Khadhim alayhi salam is walking through the city of Medina again. Look how they're always going out and about, not settling. They're coming to you. And he comes through this house. All he hears is heavy music playing. Ahna Shia, brothers, wallah, we are followers of Ahlul Bayt. There are halal alternatives. There are du'as that shatter the heart. Some might say, I use this as an outlet to escape my pains in life. Wallah, I've never seen a bigger, better heal and bandage than the du'a. You might know it. That has the lines of Ya man ismuhu dawa wa dhikruhu shifa wa ta'atuhu ghina irham man ra'su malihi ar-raja wa silahuhu al-buka. Wallah, any heart that's hard as a stone crumbles when you hear these lines. I'm in pain. Listen to these words. Mawlai, Ya Mawlai, Anta al-Mawla wa ana al-Abd wa hal yarhamu al-Abd illa al-Mawla. The biggest mutakabbir becomes the biggest mutawadi'. Oh my God, if you just open, unless you're addicted, that's another crime. And that's a symptom of this industry. Imam al-Khadhim hears this. And we are the Shia of an Imam alayhi salam. And he sees someone taking out the trash, a servant from this house. And he says, Assalamu alaikum. I just want to ask, is the owner of this home, is this person a free man or are they a slave? The man says, of course they're a free individual. To which the Imam replies, ahsant. You're right. Because if they were a slave to their master, they wouldn't be disobeying him like this. If they were a true slave to their master, they would not be disobeying their master as such. The servant goes inside. The owner of the house goes by the name of Bishr al-Hafi. Bishr says, why did you take too long? He says, I ran into this guy. He shocked me. What did he tell you? He asked about you. So what did he say? Me? He says, yeah, he hears all the music and he can hear the dancing and the merrymaking. Akin to our modern language, clubbing. Such a haram atmosphere. Wallahi al-azim. Wallahi al-azim. It's where ugly actions happen, where ugly behavior happens, where they drink things that make them feel ugly and the next day they feel ugly. There's nothing khair about it. What's attractive into this? You ask the person that had a great time yesterday, how was it? You know what they say? I can't remember. So how was it a good time if you can't remember? Biggest accidents, biggest mistakes, biggest guilt and lifelong regrets happen in these atmospheres. What are they called? Majalis ahli al-laghu wal-fusuq. Al-fisq wal-fusuq. Safeguard yourselves and your families. These gatherings are haram. And don't think it's the typical standard club atmosphere. Sometimes it's that Christmas party. And you disguise it with Allah, coexistence, Allah, a wonderful atmosphere, Allah, celebration of a prophet that we all love. Yeah, what about all these drinks? What about that music? What about that merrymaking? What about that mingling? You keep disguising تلبس الباطل بالحق. That's what's going to happen. It's all innocence. No, we're innocently studying together. Innocently? Why does it have to be in private? When you know this person will easily affect you with temptations. Don't fool yourself trying to fool Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This message is for my shabab, for my young brothers and sisters, for the youth that I've been blessed to have Allah give me the opportunity to speak to communities in North America, in Africa, in Europe. This is the same problem everywhere. That it's the bad influence of those, but the excuse wasn't, who says to themselves, I'm going to go harm myself? I'm going to go misguide. Who says that? No one says. So what do they say? Oh, it's a gathering. We're going to remember Jesus alayhi salam. Oh, it's a birthday party. What kind of birthday party is that? What is it, Shaitan's birthday? What is it? Yazid ibn Muawiyah's graduation party? What kind of celebration involves the most? Nastajiru billah. Bishr says, and what did you say? He says that indeed he's not a slave and he's free. Because if he was a slave to his Lord, he wouldn't be disobeying his master. He had an epiphany such that he runs outside to go find him. He runs so fast, he forgets to put on his shoes. Became Bishr the barefooted, al-Hafi, meaning no shoes. Because that's how shocked he is. Where is this guy that woke me up from my death? Because some people, wallah, you think they're alive? Al-Jahilu mayyit, wa in kana hayy, Imam Ali says. I would like your undivided attention just in this line. Al-alimu hayyun, wa in kana mayyitan. The alim is alive even if they die. I'm not going to mention any names, but think of some ulama. It's as if they're alive today. How much do we talk about them? How much did we mention their names? How much do we read their works? How much of that alim? Wallah, he's a legend of the highest caliber. Allah, how much I attain inspiration from this person. He's alive. His legacy lives. Even if he's dead, he's alive. وَالْجَاهِلُ مَيِّتْ وَإِنْ كَانَ حَيٍّ. And the ignorant jahil is dead even if they're alive. Bishr says, I was dead and he revived me. La ilaha illallah. Brothers and sisters, this is a masjid of Allah. If you're sick, come to the masjid, Allah will heal you. If you're dealing with disease of the heart, Aba Abdullah is the best doctor. If you're dealing with nifaq, Musa al-Khadhim will treat you. If you're dealing with loneliness, As-Sayyidah Fatima Az-Zahraa will accompany you. If you're dealing with betrayal, Imam al-Mujtaba will aid you. If you're dealing with seclusion, Imam al-Kadhim alayhi salam will be your partner in that prison of life. And if you're dealing with depression, Sahib al-Zaman is going to grab your hand. You have an Imam. And it's in these dark nights of sadness that our Imam alayhi salam, the establishment could not handle how effective he was, that even the fasiq becomes guided by him. That even the one who you think has no iman in their heart, he revives them with his akhlaq and his love. Salamullahi ta'ala alayh. Such that the order comes from Baghdad to take Imam al-Kadhim alayhi salam, to imprison him in the prison of al-Fadl ibn al-Rabi' in the city of Basra. Imam al-Kadhim alayhi salam is taken to the home of Fadl ibn al-Rabi' and he stays there for a number of years. And the order was to imprison, but also to torture the Imam. Al-Fadl ibn al-Rabi' says, how can I hurt a man who in his day he fasts and in his night he prays? I can no longer have him. So the Khalifa Harun al-Abbasi takes him to another prison. From prison to prison, The Imam is taken away until he lands in the prison of Sindi ibn Shahik. This would be the worst of the environments, as he would be placed into a cell that's beneath 3 levels into the ground. La ilaha illallah. It's called the Tamura, which means that you cannot tell the night from the day or the day from the night. Imam al-Khadhim alayhi salam would say, even in this dark day and even in this circumstance, thank you, Ya Allah. Allahumma innaka ta'lam أنني كنت أسألك أن تفرغني لعبادتك اللهم وقد فعلت ذلك فلك الحمد. Oh Allah, you always knew that I always wanted solidarity to worship you. You given me just that. Thank you, Ya Allah. But the circumstance became difficult. Imam al-Khadhim says that every time he would have the door open so they could deliver some food, because of how low the oxygen was, he would come to the door just to get some of that air. One of the guards would notice this and he would hit the Imam. Even though he was shackled in chains, they would still kick the Imam on his blessed face. One of the Shia comes to the Imam, Ali ibn Suwaid, and says, Sayyidi wa Mawlai, after he bribes the guards to get access to the Imam because they wouldn't allow him to see them. He would say, my Imam, Mata al-Faraj, when is the relief? Allahumma ajjal li waliyika al-Faraj. Imam al-Khadhim says, in 3 days on the bridge of Baghdad, in 3 days the Shia will be with their Imam on the Friday on the bridge of Baghdad. Ali ibn Suwaid goes and narrates to the followers of Ahlul Bayt, Ya Ahl al-Alam, in 3 days our Mawla's coming back. It's been 14 years. On that Friday, they all gather on the bridge, and then they see 4 guards carrying the tabut and the casket. As they lay the tabut down, they begin to call out, Hada Imam al-Rafida. This is the Imam of the Rafida. Come and take your Imam. As they come and go and they open the veils and they see Imam al-Khadhim alayhi salam, shahidan masmuman madluma. That day was a heavy day on the Shia, for they saw their Imam in this state. They asked what happened to him. The Christian doctor examines and says, this man was poisoned, and he was surrounded by the Shia. And then Imam al-Ridha comes and does his salah over his father. Imam, you had your son do the salah over you. You had the Shia surrounding you. You had everyone covering you. What about the man who lays in Karbala, surrounded by the enemies of Allah, without anyone there to shield him, calling out, Al-an inkasara dhahri wa qallat hilati. Assalamu alayka ya Aba Abdillah, la hawla wa la quwwata illa billah al-ali al-azim. وسيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون والعاقبة للمتقين. Raise your hands as we conclude, brothers and sisters. I would like to wrap up by remembering those who have requested dua for their families who are not well. There are many who have told me today that they have family members who are suffering, and you all can remember and think of someone who could benefit from the dua. If it's not yourself as well, we all need these. Let us gift for them, inshallah, the ayat of أَمَّن يُجِيبُ الْمُضْطَرَّ 5 times, لِشِفَاءِ الْمَرْضَى, and for the humum and the trials to be lifted. بحق باب الحوائج. All together. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أمن يجيب المضطر إذا دعاه ويكشف السوء. All together. أمن ويكشف السوء. أمن يجيب المضطر إذا دعاه. أمن يجيب المضطر إذا دعاه ويكشف السوء. اللهم اكشف السوء والبلاء عنا يا الله. اللهم المرضى المنظورين شافي وعافهم يا الله. اللهم من كان له حاجة فاقضي حاجته يا الله. اللهم ارزقنا زيارة الحسين في الدنيا وشفاعته في الآخرة، وإلى أرواح العلماء والشهداء سيما من أوصانا بالدعاء. رحم الله من قرأ سورة المباركة الفاتحة. But before it, the loudest of your salawat. رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين ماتم الحسين يا حسين وحسين.
یا حسین یا حسین جب ردا سر سے چھینی میں صدا دیتی رہی تو نہ آیا غازی. جب ردا سر سے چھینی میں صدا دیتی رہی تو نہ آیا غازی. آل عمران کہان اور زندان کہان یہ بہن قید ہوئی تو نہ آیا غازی. جب ردا سر سے چھینی نہ دیتی رہی تو نہ آیا غازی. ہم کو پانی نہ ملے تیرے خوشبو تو رہے، تیرے بازو نہ کٹے چاہے مشکی زاچی دے، یہ مگر ہو نہ سکا تیرے بازو ہے جدا. مجھ پہ تشنا لبی تو نہ آیا غازی. جب ردا سر سے چھینی میں صدا دیتی رہی. دھوپ میں ٹوٹا شجر تجھ سے آباد تغر ہے برہنا میرا سر. کیا نہیں تجھ کو خبر اے علمدار وفا، اس بہن کو باخدا تجھ سے دارستی بری تو نہ آیا غازی. جب ردا سر سے چھینی میں صدا دیتی رہی. کیا کہوں شعر میرے بے ردا ہم کو لیے، یہ مسلمان سارے شہر در شہر گئے. खिलकते खूफा कभी, खिलकते शाम कभी, और हाँ हम पे हंसी तू ना आया गाजी। जब रिदा सर से चीनी में सदा देती रही, कितनी बेबस थी बहन ए शहंशाह वफा, नाम लेके मेरा जब ये जालिम ने कहा, नाज़ता जिस पे तुझे अब बुलाओ ना उसे, और मैं रोती रही तू ना आया गाजी। जब रिदा सर से चीनी मैं सदा देती रही तू ना आया गाजी। या हुसैन या हुसैन या हुसैन।
Muhammad wa ali Muhammad Salah. Brothers and sisters, please be seated. Thank you. AV team, can you display the slide for tonight, please? Thank you. Tonight's program has been sponsored by Bande Khuda. The sponsor has requested for us to all please recite Surah Yasin for all marhumin. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Again, say this here somewhere, or just take them. Okay, it's gone. Okay, okay. I had a message for him. That's fine. One more thing, brothers and sisters, if you are planning to come tomorrow and day after, I would be really appreciative if you can just come on time. Tonight we had to start the program late. It was very disrespectful, I believe, in my opinion, for us not to be on time when we have called an alim from out abroad. He was here on time, so I think it's due respect to him for us to be here on time as well. Sunday morning program tomorrow at 7 a.m. There will be a program in the morning with the salat, duas, and a small lecture followed by breakfast. Also been requested to have Surah Fatiha recited for marhumeens in Abdullah Lalak family and marhuma Surah by Hassan Ali Ukeda. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Few more seconds, I won't take too long now. On behalf of the Tabarruk Committee, we would like to announce that we are seeking Tabarruk sponsors for the regular Thursday programs. Your generous contributions, no matter what the amount, will be deeply appreciated and will go a long way in supporting this noble initiative. For sponsoring Tabarruk, please feel free to reach out to Brother Taslim Akbar on the men's side and Sister Shaista Larak on the ladies' side. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you abundantly for your support. This is from the Tabarruk Committee. Please try and support as much as you can for the regular Thursday programs for Tabarruk. Now, there is a program after the Tabarruk is served here from the Youth Committee. I will call Brother Said here to come and address the community. We need everybody to please vacate this hall once you finish your Tabarruk, and the rest of the details I'll let him have addressed. Said, come here. You okay? All right, good. Thanks.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. I'll just take a few minutes of your time. I know everybody is waiting for the tabarruk. I'd like to invite all of the youth ages 13 to 30 to our second series of our Twilight Talks. The topic of today will be the role of mosques in modern Muslim communities with the Honorable Sayyid Muhammad Hassan Alsheera. And I hope to see all of you to our discussion today, inshallah. Salawat.
Thank you, Sayyid. Just to be clear, it's for ages 13 to 30, right, Sayyid?
13 to 30.
13 to 30, boys and girls. Thank you.
السلام عليك يا رسول الله. السلام عليك يا أمير المؤمنين. السلام عليك يا فاطمة الزهراء سيدة النساء العالمين. السلام عليك يا حسن المجتبى. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين جميعا ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام عليك يا إمام زين العابدين. السلام عليك يا إمام محمد الباقر. السلام عليك يا إمام جعفر الصادق. السلام عليك يا إمام موسى القاسم باب الحوائج. السلام عليك يا غريب الغرباء. السلام عليك يا عنيس الفقراء. السلطان أبا الحسن علي بن موسى الرضا كن شفيعنا وشفيع والدينا في يوم الجزاء ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام عليك يا إمام الجواد. السلام عليك يا إمام علي النقي. السلام عليك يا إمام الحسن العسكري. السلام عليك يا صاحب العصر والزمان سيدي الأمان الأمان الأمان. السلام عليك يا خليفة الرحمن. السلام عليك يا شريك القرآن. السلام عليك يا كعبة الإيمان. السلام عليك يا إمامي وإمام الإنس والجان. أجل الله فرجا وسهل الله مخرجا وظهورك. السلام عليكم يا ساداتي وموالي جميعا ورحمة الله وبركاته.